Friends, we're happy to see you back on our channel. Thank you for being with us. Your likes and subscriptions inspire us to create even more exciting videos. Don't forget to support us. It really means a lot. Enjoy the video. Cecile is in a car with Matt. They drive through the city and eventually arrive at a quiet beach. The setting is calm and somewhat melancholic. As they walk along the sand, Cecile shares a personal memory about her father, revealing that he passed away. Her tone is reflective and subdued. Matt listens attentively. Their interaction is calm and intimate, with minimal dialogue but emotional weight. At one point, Cecile begins to flirt with Matt in a provocative and playful manner, attempting to initiate physical closeness. Matt appears surprised and somewhat uncomfortable. The moment passes without escalation. We are introduced to Chance, Cecile's boyfriend. He is impulsive and often finds himself in trouble. He appears to be involved in car theft and other risky activities. His demeanor is restless, and he seems constantly on edge. Later, they are shown in their apartment. In a quiet moment, Cecile touches him gently, but the emotional distance between them is evident. Afterwards, she gets dressed. Chance expresses concern, saying she feels distant. She does not reply and leaves the apartment. We are introduced to Alice, Matt's girlfriend. She is shy, reserved, and hesitant about physical closeness. Their relationship is tender but uncertain. One day, Matt visits Alice at her home. They sneak into a small shed on the property, a storage space used for vegetables and gardening tools. Inside the quiet and somewhat cramped space, they talk softly. Matt begins to kiss her gently and caresses her, trying to get closer. Alice does not resist, but her body language shows nervousness and hesitation. As they become more affectionate, they hear someone approaching in the corridor just outside. It is Alice's mother. Despite the risk of being caught, they continue for a few more moments, holding their breath. The tension rises as footsteps pass close by, but they are not discovered. The moment is charged with a mix of excitement and anxiety. Cecile is seen at a bar where she meets Matt. Their conversation is casual, but charged with subtle tension. At one point, she teasingly tells him that sooner or later, they will end up being together. Her tone is provocative, and Matt seems caught off guard, but intrigued. Later, Cecile is in an apartment with Chance. They spend time in private. The setting is quiet with dim lighting. Despite the closeness, Cecile's expression reveals a lack of fulfillment. Her eyes remain distant, and her movements seem detached. It becomes clear that she is not emotionally or physically satisfied, even in this moment of intimacy. The scene ends with a sense of emptiness rather than connection. Matt is seen at work in a local garage. He meets with his boss, who discusses the challenges of the business and hints at possible staff reductions. The tone of the conversation is serious but not confrontational. Matt listens quietly, showing little reaction, but the concern is visible in his eyes. The boss offers vague reassurance, but it's clear that nothing is certain. The scene reflects the broader economic instability affecting the characters' lives. Cecile arrives at the garage where Matt works. Her appearance surprises him. Without much conversation, she invites him to follow her. They go into a small restroom at the back of the workshop. In the confined, dim space, they begin to undress and share a moment of physical closeness. However, the moment quickly loses its intensity. Matt seems confused and hesitant, unable to understand what Cecile wants or needs. Sensing his uncertainty, Cecile abruptly stops. She becomes distant, her expression turning cold. Matt looks lost, unsure of what just happened. Cecile stands at the railing of a ferry, gazing quietly out at the water. She is dressed casually. Nearby, a middle-aged couple is having a tense conversation. The woman appears upset, and the man attempts to calm her down. Cecile silently observes them, overhearing parts of their dialogue. From their conversation, it becomes clear that the woman has experienced trauma, making physical intimacy with her partner difficult. After some time, the man approaches Cecile, mistakenly believing she has shown interest in him. He begins to flirt with her cautiously. Cecile responds coolly but confidently. At one point, she subtly suggests they'll meet again, handing him a piece of paper with her phone number. Later, after leaving the ferry, the man asks his wife about the attractive young woman they'd seen. At home, he continues this conversation, sharing a fantasy of being intimate with the young woman while still being with his wife. He intends this to arouse her, but instead it has the opposite effect. His wife becomes even more upset, feeling rejected and humiliated by his words. The setting shifts to a small, rural beach cabin. The scene is quiet and focused entirely on their private interaction. There is no dialogue throughout the moment. The silence emphasizes the nature of Cécile's character as someone who willingly seeks out emotional release without attachment. The film returns to the ferry. Cécile encounters Alice, whom she had seen earlier. They are seated together inside the ferry's restroom. The atmosphere is more intimate and supportive. Alice opens up to Cécile, sharing her feelings about her relationship and the difficulties she faces with physical closeness. She confesses that she cannot bring herself to be close with Matt. Cécile listens attentively, offering comforting words and trying to help Alice feel more confident and free. The scene presents a moment of quiet connection and understanding between the two women. The story moves to a different location, a small party in an apartment. Cécile is there with a few of her girlfriends. They are talking and laughing. The atmosphere is relaxed and friendly. Their conversation revolves around relationships and personal freedom. The women openly share their experiences and views. As the discussion progresses, they express the idea that they can make their own choices about who they spend time with and receive something valuable in return. The tone remains light, but the dialogue reflects their shifting perspectives on intimacy and independence. A short time later, Cécile encounters the woman she had seen earlier on the ferry with her husband. The two women begin talking. The woman opens up to Cécile, sharing her feelings about her relationship and the difficulties she faces in being physically close to her husband. Cécile listens attentively and offers her a radical suggestion for how she might overcome her issues. The nature of the suggestion is left ambiguous, but Cécile's tone is calm and confident. The woman seems hesitant but intrigued. The scene ends with a sense of unresolved possibility. Matt walks alone, deep in thought. As he crosses the street, he is hit by a car. The impact is not fatal, but it leaves him stunned. Shortly after, Chance finds him. They sit and talk in a calm setting. The conversation turns to Cécile. Matt says that Cécile is strange and closed off, and tells Chance that he and Cécile need to sort things out between themselves. Chance, in turn, says that Cécile is not like other people, and that this is exactly what makes her special. Cécile, continuing her role as a mentor to Alice, proposes a plan to help the woman from the ferry. She suggests organizing a meeting between the husband and wife, where both would be blindfolded. This setup, she explains, would allow them to focus on physical connection without the pressure of visual expectations or past emotional barriers. The key element of the plan is that neither of them will know they are with each other. At first, Alice seems hesitant and unsure about the idea, but as Cécile calmly explains the potential benefits, Alice begins to understand. Eventually, she agrees to help with the arrangement. The narrative shifts to a different location, a small private gathering in an apartment. Cécile is there, along with several of her friends. This time, the atmosphere is more purposeful. They begin to carry out what they had previously discussed, participating in arranged meetings where mutual consent and benefit are understood. The event is quietly organized, with mutual understanding between the participants. The scene is suggestive of a carefully arranged environment where personal boundaries and decisions are respected. Chance arrives at the party. He is holding a small box, the urn with Cécile's father's ashes. Cécile is visibly surprised and somewhat overwhelmed by this gesture. Chance expresses his love for her and concern for her well-being. Ultimately, Cécile and Chance leave the gathering together. They get into Chance's car and drive off. The scene transitions to them traveling along a coastal road. The landscape is picturesque, with the sea visible nearby. Cécile opens the urn and begins to release her father's ashes out of the car window. The wind carries them toward the ocean. This act symbolizes her attempt to make peace with her father's death and find a sense of closure. Thank you, friends, for being with us and watching until the end. If you enjoyed it, leave a like to show your support, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the new stories we're already preparing for you.